The pillars of motivation. The invisible cage. Have you ever felt trapped in a life that doesn't truly feel like yours? As if you were inside an invisible cage, built by other people's expectations, daily pressures, and old stories you never chose? It's like every day you try to move forward, but something keeps pulling you back, suffocating your desire to live something greater. And then comes that corrosive doubt. Am I just lazy? Do I lack willpower? But the truth is no, you're not lazy. What's missing isn't energy, it's clarity. Without knowing who you want to become, without a clear vision of your future self, it's natural to feel unmotivated. After all, how can you move towards something you can't even define? This is where most people get lost, believing motivation is a gift, when in reality, it's something you build. Development. What motivation really is. The first major shift in awareness is understanding that motivation is not a fleeting spark of excitement. It's a trainable skill, a mental process that can be cultivated. Motivation means initiating, directing, and sustaining energy towards something meaningful. A motivated person isn't someone who wakes up excited every day, but someone who takes action even without feeling like it, who focuses on what matters, and keeps going despite challenges. That's the real secret behind high achievers. Not talent, not luck, but self-management. Ask yourself, how many times have you given up on something simply because you were waiting to feel motivated instead of learning how to create it? Reflective question. What role have you chosen? Now think about this. What role are you playing in your life today? Imagine yourself as an actor. Before stepping on stage, they must understand their character, their motivations, their goals. That's what makes the performance real. But what about you? Do you have clarity about the role you've chosen, or are you just following a script written by others? Parent, student, professional, friend, these are all important roles. But the mistake happens when you live only the roles imposed by your environment, without awareness. That leads to frustration, because no one can sustain playing a character they never chose. So ask yourself, have you consciously decided who you want to become, or are you still living the life others planned for you? First pillar. Ambition as inner fire. The first pillar of motivation is ambition. And here's a myth that needs to be broken. Ambition is not greed. Ambition is the desire to expand, to experience more from life, to reach what seems impossible. It's the natural drive that moves us forward. Unfortunately, many people were taught that wanting more is wrong. How many times have you heard, be satisfied with what you have, or don't dream too big? That suppresses the soul and dims your inner light. True ambition is divine. It's the inner calling to grow and evolve. Ask yourself, what is your real ambition? What kind of life do you want to experience? Who do you want to become in 5 years? Don't be afraid to answer, because within that answer lies the power to reignite your motivation. Second pillar. The target that lights the path. But desire alone isn't enough. You need clarity. This is the second pillar, the target. Without clarity, you feel lost, like someone walking through a forest without a map. Many people know they want something more, but they never define what that actually means. And without clarity, there is no consistency. Confusion creates paralysis. So define it. What is your next concrete step? What clear goal can you set right now? Motivation grows when there is a well-defined goal, because the target gives meaning to effort. Without it, each day becomes just another day, directionless and empty. Attention as an act of power. Now we reach the third pillar, attention. Because it doesn't matter if you have ambition and clarity if your mind is constantly distracted. Think about it. How many hours have been lost scrolling through your phone, comparing your life to others, ending up more exhausted and empty than before? Attention is the most valuable asset you have. Wherever your attention goes, your life grows. If you give your focus to distractions, you are literally feeding a future you don't want. Reflect on this. Where are you investing your attention? Are you building your dreams, or just surviving in noise? Fourth pillar. The energy of emotions. The fourth pillar is emotion. And here's something important. Your emotions are not your enemies. They are not uncontrollable storms that appear out of nowhere. Most of the time, what you feel today is a direct result of the past few days. How did you sleep? What did you eat? Who did you talk to? What thoughts did you feed? All of this shapes your emotional state. The good news is, you can regulate it. When you take care of your body, choose positive environments, and direct your thoughts toward what strengthens you, you create a fertile emotional ground where motivation can grow. So ask yourself, are you managing your energy, or are you living at the mercy of stress and exhaustion? Breaking the cage. Notice how everything connects: ambition, clarity, attention, and emotion. These 4 pillars sustain real motivation. It's not about waiting to feel inspired. It's about building, every single day, a mental and emotional state that supports your progress. The real shift happens when you realize you're not a victim of your environment, your circumstances, or other people's opinions. You have the power to choose. You can decide today who you want to become, what path you will follow, and how you will manage your energy. So reflect, what cage do you need to break right now? What old expectations or past stories are still limiting who you can become? If this message spoke to you, do something simple. In the comments, write a sentence that represents your decision to take control of your life. It could be, I choose my role, or I'm breaking free from the cage. This is not just interaction, it's a public commitment to yourself. Because in the end, motivation is not something you receive, it's something you build. And it begins the moment you decide to live according to who you truly are, and who you choose to become.